Hello, everyone. It's Dr. T. I'm a tech trainer and career coach, and I help professionals transition to tech by leveraging their existing skills and abilities. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the Agile Coach role and share with you some tips on some areas that you could address first as you enter an organization that is looking to adopt Agile as its first approach to delivering quality and value over time, or if you're working with an organization that already has adopted an agile mindset but is looking for ways to continuously improve. Now, the agile coach requires a unique set of skills and competencies to be effective. Strong communication skills is vital. You will be the person who is working across teams to communicate new processes and new practices. And so you have to have a strong ability to articulate the benefits of Agile and to clearly share its practices and principles. You'll also need to be an active listener. You'll be communicating across teams, and you'll need to pause and listen for concerns and issues as they talk about how Agile has impacted their role and how they believe they fit into the methodology. You'll need strong facilitation skills as well, because you'll be helping the teams establish group discussions and meetings cross-functionally so that they'll be able to manage conflicts effectively. So you'll be that person that will help set up meetings to talk about what's needed across teams from a dependency perspective, or how one team can support another as they look to improve a process or look to improve an overall practice. You'll need to be a good coach and a good mentor. Agile coaches help individuals as well as teams improve their skills and adopt the Agile practices. So you'll have to be that coach and that mentor that helps the team along the way. You'll need to have expert knowledge of Agile. You can't come into an organization and talk to them about adopting a new way of working if you don't know the ins and outs of that process and that methodology yourself. So you need to know the Agile principles, the Agile frameworks, and of course the Agile methodology itself. And then you'll use this knowledge to help craft and tailor an approach that is specific to the needs of the team and the organization as a whole. Agile coaches are change agents. They are skilled in managing change and helping teams adopt new practices and processes through strong change management practices in and of themselves. You'll need to be a change agent and help those teams look at ways to improve how they perform and improve their outputs. You'll need strong emotional intelligence. You'll have to have a strong set of emotional intelligence that is able to take on some of the rants and some of the pushback that comes with rolling out change in an organization. And you'll also need to be able to empathize with teams and understand their perspectives as this change is being rolled out. You'll need to be committed to continuous learning. You yourself have to have a grasp of what's going on in the Agile space and any changes or any new practices or frameworks that come out, because you're constantly helping the organization craft their approach to Agile. So you yourself have to be fully aware of the methodologies and the frameworks available to that organization. So you see, overall, you need a broad range of skills and competencies in order to be effective. So let's look at the role in the context of an organization. And we talked about the fact that you may be going into a new organization to help an organization with a new rollout of Agile, or you may be there to help with continuous improvement. There's 7 top priorities I'd like to talk to you about. Now, these are in no particular order, but they are related in terms of you being able to help with this transformation. So, priority 1 could be for you to review Agile documentation to understand the organizational approach. Here's where you get your finger on the pulse of how are they committed to Agile? What got them started? Let's look at any lessons learned documentation. Let's look at any project charters or any documentation that helps establish this decision to accept Agile as their delivery methodology. You also want to look at any governance models as you are looking at this documentation. You want to understand the approach and who's responsible for decision making and who's responsible for reporting from an Agile perspective. So you want to get an understanding of the governance model that supports the rollout of Agile. A third priority is for you to interview team members. The documentation can paint a pretty picture, but you want to talk to the individuals whose roles and responsibilities are being impacted by Agile. You want to understand, how do people feel? Have people accepted the Agile approach, or are they just going through the motion because it's been rolled out from an executive sponsor and they've been told what they should do? Or is it that they see their specific role in this approach being successful and they have taken the responsibility for certain tasks? So you want to interview individuals and just see where they are as well. You also want to review Agile metrics and understand how the organization is measuring effectiveness. Are they using metrics that are a part of the framework that they've adopted, or is there some other set of metrics that are being used to assess how the teams are doing and how the organization is progressing from an Agile perspective? So you just want to get an understanding of how are they measuring their success. The 5th priority that we want to talk about is observing ceremonies. So you've read this documentation and you talk to individuals, but now you want to be a fly on the wall and understand, well, let me take a look at how they're performing and what activities they're conducting, and are they participating in any Agile anti-patterns. So here you're just trying to identify areas for improvement. You're not trying to engage at this point. You're just simply being a fly on the wall and looking at how Agile is being implemented. The 6th priority is assessing the level of customer engagement. So you've looked at the documentation, you've talked to individuals, you've observed ceremonies from the teams, but are they engaging the stakeholders? Agile is about continuous improvement and continuous feedback, and you can't be effective if you aren't engaging the customers. So are they holding the sprint reviews if they are working from a Scrum perspective, or how else are they getting that feedback from the customer to say, yep, we approve what you're doing, and yep, these are our priorities. And then the 7th priority for you is to provide some recommendations. You've looked at the documentation, you looked at the historical records from a metrics perspective and a reporting perspective. You've observed the ceremonies, and you've looked at how much they are engaged with the customers and the stakeholders. Now it's a chance for you to interpret all of this data and make some recommendations for improvement. and then give that timeline in terms of, well, when will you follow up to review and ensure that the recommendations that you've made and that they've agreed to are actually being done and are improving over time. So you can see your role within an organization is pretty in depth. You go from the top, from the leadership making the decision, to the stakeholders, to the teams, and just continuously working at each level to make every interaction better throughout the hierarchy, within the governance model, and then looking at those practices to make sure that they are continuously improving. So your overall goal as an Agile coach is to transform the organization to focus on value optimization and delivering quality. I hope this video was helpful, and if you'd like for us to take a deeper dive into Agile coaching, let us know. Drop us a comment below, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.